Hello everyone. So we are back in the design series and today we are going to see the Memento design pattern. So what is Memento design pattern? It is a behavioral design pattern which lets you save and restore the object state without exposing its internal details. That's the simplest definition. It is widely used to implement undo redo functionality. So let us see what all are the components and let us try to understand it in depth. First is the originator. It is the object whose state we need to save or restore. What is memento? Memento is it stores the state of the originator basically. It's kind of a snapshot. And caretaker is something which manages the save state. So let us take an example and let us try to understand what these three classes are actually doing. Let, let us close this. I'll create a new class here. Say memento.cpp. So let us start with the code. Hash include iostream using namespace std. So first of all, I need a memento class. We'll understand what it is actually doing. First of all, let us create it. We need a memento class. Let us call it editor memento. Inside editor memento, we'll be having certain functionality. Let us keep it empty for now. Now I need an originator whose state I want to save. So we'll take an example of text editor. So let us name it text editor itself. Text editor class. Apart from this, we need a caretaker class. So caretaker. So let us call it history because it is going to save the state of the memento. So let us first implement the text editor, which is the actual object that we want to save. So it is going to contain some string. Let us name it text. And in the public section, I'll be having a function, let us say type. Something is being typed and I'll just add it on. So we have void type, some const string words are coming and I'm going to add it to my text. So the text will be added with the words. And once it is added, I'll just say current text is going to be this. Right. After this, I want to have a function which can save the state. So I'll have an editor memento save. There's a save function which returns the editor memento. So what it does is it just returns me the editor memento with the text. I need a constructor for that. We'll define it. No worries. Now after this, I also need a function which can restore the data. So I need a void restore const editor memento. I'll just get an editor memento. And once I get the editor memento, I'll say text will be equal to memento dot get text. There will be some function I will be defining which will return me the text whatever is saved inside. And once I get it, I'll just print it over the screen. Restored text is going to be X. So with this, the text editor class is complete. Now let us see what are we going to have in the editor Memento. In the editor Memento, we are again going to have a string, which is actually the same string. I'm just going to save that string as a state. Why are we doing this? After completing all the classes, we'll just go through it again to see why we actually need editor Memento and why are we actually wrapping the text editor over it. So in the public section, I need a constructor editor Memento, which takes a string text, and I'll use the initializer list to assign the text. After this, I also defined a get text over here, so I'll use it. String get text. There will be some function. I can, since it is only returning me the data, so I can make it constant function, and inside this I'll return the text. It is not going to change the state of the object, so we can make the function as constant function. Now, after this is done, let us try to implement the history class. Inside this, I want to undo and redo functionality. I want to have those functionalities. So the best way to achieve it is to have a stack. So I'll use a stack and I'll make it of editor Memento pointer. No, let us keep it editor Memento because we are only creating the object. So mementos, let us say public. So for stack, I need to add the library. Let us add it right now. Hash include stack. Now I need a function which can push the data and which can pop the data. So void push const editor Memento, and I'll get it by reference m, and I'll just push it mementos dot push m. After this, I also need a pop function. Editor Memento. The pop function is going to return me editor Memento pop. Whatever is on the top of the stack, it is just going to return me. So editor Memento m will be equal to mementos dot top mementos dot pop. We'll pop it out from the stack, and then we are going to return m. Right. Now let us try to implement the int main. I'll create a text editor. Let us say editor. Then I'll have a history class, which is my caretaker. I'll name it history only. Now inside the editor, let us type something. Let us type hello. After this, I'll just push history dot push editor dot save. So when I call editor dot save, it is going to return me an editor Memento. That editor Memento will then be pushed inside the stack. So that is something which is going to happen. Now after this, I again use editor dot type, say world, and after that I'll again push it history dot push editor dot save. Now after this, let us type something else in the editor dot type extra text, let us say. After this, I'm going to undo the operation. Undo editor dot restore, and I'll just call history dot pop. So history dot pop is going to return me an editor Memento. That editor Memento, I'm going to pass it inside my restore method, and it will restore the previous state of the text. So this is how we are trying to implement it. Now I'll just remove it. Now let us also do it again. Editor dot restore history dot pop. Now after this, so let us try to compile it and we'll see the code again. We'll see if there are any errors. So G++ Memento -o mem, and it compiled successfully. If I'll run m, so you can see hello world, then again hello world extra text. Then once we are trying to do undo, it is removing and taking the state of the text in the previous state. So the point is, why are we so you must be asking yourself, why are we making a stack inside the history and it is of type editor memento? Why not straight away using the string text? First of all, the memento design pattern is something which is used for separation of concern. So here we are dealing with a class which does not have the history class does not know what is saved inside the text, anything. So it can be anything inside the text editor. We are just going to save it. Now you could have gone for, instead of editor memento, why are we not saving directly the text editor? Why do we need an editor memento? That is the point why we are doing this, is because for now the code is very simple. You're only having a string. Let us say you are also in future you might be having a cursor. So that cursor data is going to be saved, is not uh, a part of text editor. It is something different. So it is completely separate entity. So it will be having a complete different class. Now the editor memento can have an instance of that as well. So in that way, your classes are being separated. So you're not going to interact with each other. Your classes will not be having any state information. So that is how you are actually implementing the separation of concern here. And this is the point. Why do you need the memento, editor memento? Because it is the object that is going to have the instances which are actually going to say be saved. So that is all about the memento design pattern. I hope you understood why we made all these classes. So if there are any questions, you can ask them in the comment section. Thank you so much. We'll be coming with more design patterns in future.